danger time for this Zoe. Collateral damage just wide, sidestepped by the Zoe. And T1 wrestled out of the river as there's the Moonlight Vigil to come down. Morgan could be in trouble here. Flashes the hook, not quite long enough. Great double stun there from Morgan, but they are still going to be able to get pressure onto this turret. T1 wanting to grab that is now Vsta looking to come round once again. There's the ulti to come through for Morgan. Only one person can take that lantern, and now Canna could be in trouble. He's down so low and trying to get the damage out as Deft finishes him off in the end. Morgan likely to fall as well. It's 2 for 1 so far for T1. And HANWHA ESPORTS now forced to leave. Flash comes out from Chovy. That's one that he stole away as T1 are on the wrong side of this Drake, but now with the man advantage.
It's not over just yet. They keep looking.
I mean, this is so risky for HANWHA ESPORTS here.
Oner parkouring his way in. There's the Shockwave ball delivery system here, and Vsta, he's going to go golden for a little while. Stands beside Willa, keeps himself alive for the moment. As Oner, below half health, great hook to come through from Keria, but there is another stopwatch from this team. Of course, Willa, no way out. Wasn't going to invest the flash, as it turns out, as another bubble lands, but I think the T1 have finally won the fight. What do you think, gentlemen?
This is the most Chovy Life esports scenario that you could imagine. Yeah, it definitely looked like that. And that's one of those things that you could do as Orianna. It's so strong against Xin Zhao and the Aurelia and, of course, the Braum in this very rare circumstance where you can actually pull it off, is to actually pull people out of their engages as Deft might be in trouble.
Yeah, kind of looking for the dive right underneath this turret. He had the shield bow, and he's absolutely fine. Just walks up and takes down the 80 carry of HANWHA ESPORTS.
He's in the side lane, and when your Aurelia can't reliably match someone inside, a lot of the value does get taken away as Shockwave.
Chovy just walked into the Shockwave. He does use his Zhonyas. Try and keep himself up, and now will flash away, but Willa is going to pay for his sins. The ulti comes down, and it is not going to save the Xin Zhao. Oner not done just yet, as Everfrost looks to try and deny T1. But it looks like they might be aiming for a Baron instead, and that would be a massive swing in this game, in a position where T1 were already massively ahead.
Yeah, they're already so far ahead. You don't have a jungler anymore as HANWHA ESPORTS. 100% you can take this. HANWHA, this is a mistake to challenge.
Yeah, well, Keria finds yet another hook, but there's no backup as now Morgan looking to get in there. Does dive into the back of the pit as HANWHA looking for more. The Baron does go over to T1, but can they keep themselves alive? Will any of these Barons make it out of the pit as Guma is about to say yes? The bullet time not finding the value they were looking for, but the bubble will now connect. And Chovy's going to find the paddle star there as well. So Oner has been taken down. 2 Barons remain on the side of T1, and it looks like 2 Barons will survive. Until about 25 is when they theoretically should have been strong. That time has gone. T1 in so much control as HANWHA trying to do their very best to defend their base, but 2 inhibitors go down. 3-man Shockwave just found out of nowhere from Faker as Willa, the only way that he can go is forward. Here's Xin Zhao. This kid has not changed. And T1, they're looking to end it all right here, right now, as Morgan very low as well. Trying to defend that one Nexus turret. Vsta being a valiant defender, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Nexus turrets just melt at the hands of Gumayusi's Crescendum. The Nexus going to follow suit, and T1, all business in game 1, destroy HANWHA ESPORTS.
It looks like they are going to commit to this, which is very, very greedy in terms of positioning. Your Faker has to be so careful. They're just going to straight up start this.
Oh, engaging in onto T1 is dangerous, though, as we've got a back coming through from Morgan, maybe thinking about getting himself an item. A teleport coming on down from T1 as Faker's going to get hooked, has the ultimate, keeps himself alive. Chains of Corruption come out as well, though, as Deft looking for some arrows. Shelly getting in amongst it as well, as she eventually decides that she wants to get out, as Chovy bullying Gumayusi away from this pit, and T1, they don't want the fight.
T1, I mean, they really just got completely out-rotated here. Morgan's on the backside, by the way, and is going to be able to catch this wave, but hit point advantage goes to HANWHA ESPORTS. They've got long range engage too. You have to respect this as T1. This could be a huge mistake. There's a teleport coming through top side here.
That's the second teleport to come on in. Faker, no flash available, but now has full health once again. As Morgan, he can blast cone over, but the information is now there from T1. They know that this isn't going to work out as Oner is going to steal away the Rift Herald. Now Morgan diving on in immediately. He gets exhausted. Canna looking for Willa on the backline, but has he overextended? It's a question. Morgan staying alive for so long, and first First blood goes to Faker. Chovy gets smashed into the wall at the back of Shelly's pit, but does make his way out. Gumayusi trying to get him as they're not going to fall for that funny business. It's a double kill for Faker and T1. A huge lead in the early game.
It would not be an LCK quarterfinal versus LCK v LCK quarterfinal, but we're going to have crazy extended fights here on the Rift Herald. And I got to say,
I mean, they also have a Braum.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, like,
well,
I'm not saying it's difficult to get these arrows to do anything. Yeah.
I just want to provide, we need a plan.
It was a desperate attempt. It was a desperate attempt, and I appreciate you taking it.
I mean, the other thing is, like, right now is Chovy, watch him try to find any damage, and it's just not realistic.
Well, the rest of the team coming on over. Shirley's down very, very low as it's the flash on forward to get things started, but Willa just throws his life away in the end. Canna, yep, pretty immune right now as Vsta looking to try and get his way out. Oh, not quite able to land the passive just there as the piercing arrow does a lot of work. Canna eventually, with the help of a few dots, is able to take down the Nautilus as over the wall goes Chovy and into the death chamber with him as Morgan as well trying to walk his way out. T1 extraordinarily far ahead right now, 5-0 in the kills. Shirley steps up and they're looking to break down this turret as Canada's standing in, getting a bit of his thumbs up out there. That's not what this represents, right? This represents T1 tidying up their gameplay so much more, as this was a 5-game series, as now Canna looking to try and get more done. Gumayusi, a massive ulti in the backline. The Varus just dies. I didn't even see what he got hit by. It just gets completely obliterated.
Baby coming through.
It was just needled. He was just needled as Canna is just so extraordinarily strong right now. Willa trying to get away, but he's not going to be able to. Gets the thumbs up, and Canna is indeed unstoppable.
And this is giving me flashbacks to what we saw, as he might still get popped here.
Well, we'll see how immune he's going to be. We're going to try and cut down the Crocodile. It's going to be difficult, but does still have his circle available. Yeah, exactly. T1, they can just go over and grab it. And yes, congratulations, HANWHA Esports. You do have yourselves a Baron. But Faker is going to come through and try and do a 1v2. Ults himself. Gets a bit of extra damage down there, but Faker should still die, but no. Able to walk his way out, and yep, that's the last tick, calculated by the man in the mid lane.
No problem.
Hit 4s and 5s in terms of drafting and strategy here, because T1 are just one step ahead.
Yeah, it's really, really rough. They're going to fight for this blue buff. It is going to be secured there by Chovy, so at least there's that. And now Oner actually in a bit of trouble. He's going to flash his way out. Faker there to follow up, though, as he dives on forward with that Ring of Frost. Still has the ultimate. Also has a Zhonya's as well, as Faker actually going to fall here. He'd already used that Frozen Tomb, so unfortunately no option to have that one. It's a 1-for-1 thus far. Still trading evenly here on HANWHA Esports side. We were saying that, you know, that's bad. When you're behind, generally it's good, but I don't know. With the draft, it's so difficult here for HANWHA.
With how gimme of a fight that was for T1, the fact that this is this close is a bad sign. I mean, T1 were way out of position, and they still end up trading it back.
It's free.
Diving forward.
Keeps going. It's free ultimates invested as well, right?
The rest of his team are like, well, we're not really sure about this anymore.
Yeah, we can't rescue you, and Morgan has no teleport here, so he's going to have to just kind of hover around and wait for the sandwich to come through. But there's so much vision here for T1 that HANWHA Esports have to push through.
It's going to rush it down. Morgan can dive on over the side. Steadfast presence is going to be there, and the Poppy locks down the Baron. Now can they win the fight, though, as they immediately just run over Chovy. And with Chovy dead, there is nothing left. It's a triple kill for Gumayusi, and Deft finds himself alone. I think this is the end for HANWHA Esports in game number 2. As Deft not going to be able to cleanse again, and that's going to be the ace given over. T1 storm down the mid lane in an extraordinarily dominant first 2 games. They'll bring themselves to match point.
They've neutered Deft in the early game. They prevented Chovy from getting a lead back-to-back, game after game here. Chovy's not able to carry. He's not able to pop off. Morgan not getting ahead. And these early game, extremely tempo-based compositions that we're seeing HANWHA Esports try to run into an extremely...
This series isn't even over yet,
and
Shirley is now getting taken down. T1, let's see whether they can win this battle. Gravitum comes on out. Chains of Corruption are going to be the answer, so that means HANWHA should be able to get Shirley, but the Moonlight Vigil comes down. That's stolen away, though. Oner actually diving forward. Faker using his ult to make sure no one can get out. Deft going to be the first victim. That's another one to go down as well, as unfortunately Will is not going to be able to Ragnarok that, and Chovy's still alive. Morgan is his only teammate that's also there, and unfortunately, it's not for too much longer. He needs to try and get through both Canna and Faker. Okay, fight's continuing to erupt here. The flash has to come through because the return of the Rake was going to be enough to get rid of Chovy, and he's getting closed in upon. Keria actually gets it with the edge of the hook, and now it's only Morgan left as Deft and Vsta have respawned.
Feeling a little bit less bad about how premature we've been about this series, because what T1 is showing here is just utter dominance, right? Like, look at how they set up the team fight. Do you feel like, you know, there's also another quarterfinal to be played between Matt and Dom and Keria, which...
Oh no, but like if Matt beats Dom on Keria, then that's an amazing semi.
All I'm seeing is, need to evolve. You can't evolve during one World Championship of a tournament. It's going to take longer than that, and it's going to take a lot more time. We'll see if this roster stays together next year or not. When Chovy's contract expiring at the end of the year, who knows? But I got to say, you know, for Willer, this is probably going to be one of the biggest learning experiences he'll ever have of his whole career. As HANWHA Esports don't have any vision on the Baron. They know what's being done, though. They're going to go through this choke point. Yeah, some scary guns on Gumayusi as well as the ult comes forward from Vsta, trying to start this one off in their favor. It's not the steal, and it's just a dead Willer to start this one off. But at least Morgan dives on forward, takes out Faker, tries to drive by, but it's not going to work. Deft now going to be the focus. It's Gumayusi. That's so many chakrams. He is terrifying on this Aphelios. Vsta going to get taken down, and now Oner parkours his way into this top lane. Deft a sitting duck right now, and it's the double kill to come through from the T1 jungler. And that, I think, was the last gasp from HANWHA Esports, and unfortunately, it was not very loud. And start this Baron, which will disappear faster than you could blink an eye. Once again, no vision for HANWHA Esports. We're going to watch the same fight happen again. Maybe this time the miracle can occur. Because, I mean, you are praying for a miracle if you're a HANWHA Esports fan. Tournament life on the line here.
I don't know, man. Even a miracle may not be enough here as HANWHA. They don't even get towards the pit. The Baron is secured. Willer now down extraordinarily low. It says he's unstoppable, but it's looking pretty stoppable right now as Gumayusi's dominating as he takes down the jungler. HANWHA now running for the hills as quickly as possible. Decent disengage ult from Vsta as Chovy dives into the back line. Gets exhausted though straight away. Morgan with the dominance gets on top of Gumayusi, but there's so much peel, and he is going to be okay. Lantern thrown out for Faker as Chovy flashes himself out of the way. Morgan doing the same thing as Oner goes golden. Vsta and Deft still alive for the moment, but the Talon has found Varus, and yes, the base is being absolutely destroyed. Chovy now on the wrong side, and this is going to be the ace almost, as Morgan the only one left remaining. But Nexus turrets aren't going to be here, and T1, they are just looking to end this game right here and put HANWHA Esports out of their misery. Canna was staying there for quite some time, but honestly, he probably can, as the rest of T1 are going to turn up.
This game would have already been over if Faker was actually able to finish his teleport. He was teleporting to the bot side wave, but Chovy interrupted him. It doesn't even matter, though.
It's heroic, but it's not going to matter. T1 will 3-0 HANWHA Esports. They wanted to do this in the World's Gauntlet. Thankfully, they got a second try, and damn, second time was the charm.
T1 advanced to the semifinals in the most dominant fashion, I think, in international competition of League of Legends could even imagine. And I gotta say, I think HANWHA Esports fans are disappointed with the result. You go 0-3, but not only do you get dominated in 3 back-to-back games, but you try the same draft twice, and both times it fails hard. And Chovy, his last moments in this tournament will be interrupting Faker's teleport, trying to look for the kill on his longtime rival here in the LCK. Unable to get the kill, unable to close out the series.